I would like to thank Jamal Ross for sending me this article, and it is coming out of Tennessee. And let me just tell you, I am not even in the least bit surprised at what I'm about to tell you. So there was this legislature in Tennessee that was trying to vote whether or not neo-Nazism, Nazi, and the alt-right will be declared as hate groups. Well, of no surprise, they literally killed that resolution in condemning the neo-Nazis and the alt-wrong, as I like to call them, as terrorists. Well, the only thing that would have shocked me is if they actually passed it and said that they will be declared that, but they're not going to declare that. And you know what? If y'all know a bit of history about them, there's this place called Pulaski, Tennessee. That's where the KKK was founded. So them not coming to a resolution on this in the state of Tennessee doesn't surprise me, considering that's where the birth of one of the, if not the original, quote unquote, alt-right or neo-Nazi group got started as far as America goes. So why would they condemn something in a state where their quote unquote founding got kicked off? But these are the same people that wish and want Black Lives Matter, a group that hasn't killed anybody, to be declared as a hate group. This is the same group of people that every time they see an Arab person, they declare them a terrorist just on sight. This is the same group of people that will see a Mexican person and swear up and down that they are an illegal immigrant and they may actually be here legally. But if you do stuff like this, what you see in this picture, or have multiple rallies where a lot of people get injured and or killed, i.e. Charlottesville, which just happened less than a year ago, amongst other things and violent acts, they're not to be considered terrorists or hate groups. Let me go ahead and read this article. A Tennessee State House committee on Wednesday refused to vote on a resolution to denounce neo-Nazism, white nationalism, and the alt-right as terrorist organizations. State Representative John Ray Clemens sponsored this resolution, which went beyond condemning the movement without naming specific groups using terrorism language. It is also called on law enforcement to pursue the criminal elements within them, with the same fervor used to protect the United States from other manifestations of terrorism. Well, first off, they wouldn't. That's why they'll never declare a white person a terrorist. Notice that they will say a white person might commit terroristic acts. You have to really pay attention to the language they use. They will say, like, look at Parkland, for instance. They say that what he did was an act of terrorism, but that's not the same as calling him a terrorist. But if the person was yelling out Allahu Akbar, they would not only say it was an act of terrorism, but they'll declare that person a terrorist. Shoot, sometimes they wouldn't even say the act of terrorism and go straight for the terrorist. So y'all gotta really pay attention to the words that they use and how they use them. I peeped that early on. The resolution did not get a second motion to proceed with debate during a meeting of the House State Government Committee, which means it will not make it to a vote by the full legislature. Basically, once they voted that one time, they weren't about to hear it again. They ceased and desist without the chance that it might overturn the next time around. So they only did it a one-time vote, and that was it. Because they didn't want to leave it up to chance that it might actually get overturned. It was introduced by the committee's sole Democrat and did not have support from the Republicans. Clemens told, well, that's no surprise. Clemens told the Tennessean that he was in utter disbelief that the resolution did not even come to a vote. I didn't think there was anything controversial about this resolution. We strongly denounce and oppose the totalitarian impulses, violent terrorism, xenophobic biases, and bigoted ideologies that are promoted by white nationalists and neo-Nazis. I would love to try to pass a resolution denouncing white nationalists and neo-Nazis, but if I can't even get a second in the subcommittee, it evidences this Republican supermajority's refusal to denounce these hate organizations for what reason I cannot begin to imagine. Clemens added to the Tennessean. The resolution also points to the alt-right as a reinvention of white nationalism, adding that their present-day rhetoric and terrorism conjure painful memories of our nation's past. White nationalism and neo-Nazism are continuing to grow as menaces to societal order that seek to reignite social animosities, reverse improvements in race relations, divide the nation, and foment hatred, classism, and anti-Semitism, and ethnic eradication. The proposal comes after multiple white nationalist gatherings in Tennessee in recent weeks, including a White Lives Matter rally and a gathering of white nationalist group Identity Evropa, according to the Tennessean. And the thing is, I've heard of that Evropa thing before. I think maybe one time, and I think I spoke about it in a video months ago, and I think that has something to do with Europe, if I'm not mistaken, because you think of the pronunciation of the words. They are literally hanging on by a thread. See, this is the only thing that they can really hold on to where they feel they have some kind of self-identification. And if they declare them a terrorist group, they are going to really lose it. Because then they'll feel that's open season on them. And the reason why a lot of them shot that thing down is because many of them are a part of these groups. Look at how all these judges let these rapists go free. Or they give them slaps on the wrist. That's because many of them are rapists, or they have raped before in their lifetime. So they sympathize and empathize with them. But then again, like I said, this is the state of Tennessee we're talking about here. The founding, Pulaski, Tennessee, the founding, I guess you could say the foundation of where the KKK got started. It's like the birth to all of this madness. So it doesn't surprise me that they won't declare them a hate group. And then the thing is, if they declare them a hate group, then it'll spread across the rest of the establishment, and the rest of them would get hit as well, leaving them wide open for an attack. But that don't mean they won't get attacked, because let me tell you one thing, they can really only maneuver in certain areas. Let them try to come to a hood or a quote-unquote ghetto, they probably won't make it out alive. Look at what Dylan Roof said. I'm not going to go to the hood and attack them because there's a good chance I'm going to get my ass beat or not make it out alive. At least he was being honest. They know who to and who not to mess with. Hell, when you think about it, think back to, I think it was 2014 when they had that so-called neo-Nazi rally in the State House on the state capitol in Columbia, South Carolina. They got ran out by black people at their own event. Had them scattering like roaches when the lights come on. I will forever remember that. That was a lovely sight to see. Y'all let me know what you think down in the comments.